So this book really blew me out of the water. This is probably one of the favorite ones I have ever read and reviewed thus far, and it was incredibly informative. It really just gives you a whole view of not just indoor plant care, but outdoor plant care for vegetables and flowers as well. Hey everyone, Kim here, your plant bestie. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book Plant Parenting by Leslie Halleck, Easy Ways to Make More Houseplants, Vegetables, and Flowers. So I highly recommend Leslie's book. It was a really great read, and it's one of those books I can tell that I'm going to reference in the future and not just read it once and be done with it. I'm going to be reviewing this book and giving you the 3 things I like best about it so you can determine if it's a book that you want to add to your collection. This book is a total of 256 pages long. I kind of found it refreshing that she didn't just discuss indoor plants, but the whole spectrum of plants, because sometimes you can understand things a little bit better when you see the big picture. And this book definitely gives you the big picture. The first part I really liked was how plants multiply. In this section, she discusses plant reproduction, propagation, and naming of plants. And this section was really thorough in that it kind of talked about how plants reproduce. So she went into detail about seed and how it happens, when to harvest, things like that. She also went into propagation, different ways to propagate, and then how to understand the common names versus the scientific names of plants. The other thing I really liked about this section where she talks about how plants multiply is the common propagation methods table. So there's a table in this section where she has all these common plants and she lists out the type of propagation that works best for each particular plant. This is really helpful. These are questions that I've asked myself several times, not just with indoor gardening, but also outdoor gardening. And this is a really handy tool to have. It has lots of really common plants that you might want to know the answer to on how to propagate it and share with other people, or to multiply the plants that you already have. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And be sure to stay until the end of the video because I'm going to be sharing a bunch of really great online resources that Leslie has aside from her book. And she also has other really great books. The second part I really liked about her book was the section where she went into detail on different methods of propagation. So this pertains to vegetables as well as flowers, indoor plants, the whole spectrum of plants. And it was really informative. She kind of goes through the different ways you can do propagating: stem cutting, water rooting, leaf cutting, offsetting, cane cutting, and then non-petiole split vein cutting. It was really helpful because a lot of times when I've heard propagating mentioned really briefly in most plant care books, usually they will just touch on 1 or 2 of those. And I like how in depth she went into all of those different ways that you can propagate. And that, again, is another really helpful tool that you can use with the chart that she gives you previously in the section before, where she talks about all the different types of propagation. So I really enjoyed that a lot. And it's something that really can come in handy when you're trying to figure out how to propagate and multiply a plant you already have. The other thing I really like about the propagation section is she not only goes into really good depth in the written text, but she also shows really easy to follow and understand photographs which explain what she's talking about. Super helpful that she provides that as well. The third thing I really like about her book is Common Pests and Diseases section. So this section really goes into good depth on common pests and diseases for plants. There's really great photos in here. And then she is like the queen of charts. She does another chart within the section that says common pests on plants. And she breaks it down by pest, description, the plants that it typically would target, the signs and symptoms, and then the treatment. It has lots of really great tables in it on the pests as well as propagation, different types of propagation. And I like seeing the full spectrum because it really ties everything together for plant care. So I highly recommend this book. This is probably one of my favorites I've ever read. On Amazon, it got 4.8 stars and a total of 347 reviews. I definitely don't think you'll regret picking this book up. Aside from this book, Leslie has lots of really great resources online. Leslie is a certified professional horticulturalist, and you can tell just because of the information that she gives in the book. Everything is so thorough, but she also has a lot of other resources online. She has a website called lesliehalleck.com where she has lots of really great information. She has some blogs. She has some great YouTube videos on her YouTube account that talk about indoor and outdoor plant care, have really great tips on them. Her Instagram account is great as well. She does travel quite a bit, so she will share photos from her travels as well as her current project she's working on or plant tips as well. She also consults. She does lots of different types of consulting. She does speaking engagements. She does workshops, and she also can consult with you regarding your indoor or outdoor gardening needs. So if it's something you're interested in, you can check that out on her website. Now, aside from this book, she has lots of other books as well. There's Tiny Plants and then Gardening Under Lights. So those are the two other books that she has that you should totally check out. So those are all the great resources that Leslie has online. So aside from her wonderful book, I highly recommend you go check out her website, see all that she has to offer. She is just so incredibly knowledgeable and humble and has lots of great tips on not just indoor plant care, but also outdoor plant care. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I sure would appreciate it. And if there's any book that you would like to see me review, leave it in the comments below and maybe I'll review it in a future video. Thanks so much. Bye.